And happy fifth anniversary. So today we have a few of the committee meetings here in the art creative and the mama manager. So we'll introduce everybody shortly. But what I want to do first is just jump right in to talk about the gala. So we are ready to roll. The November 17th this year. So we pushed it out a tiny bit. November the 17th is the in-person From Wallet to Wealth speaker gala and dinner event at the Oakville Conference Center. We have a big room. We actually have a double room and we're going to fill that baby up. And so we'll blah. I want to talk about some of our sponsors, our event designer, but first of all, we'll jump quickly into speakers and then we'll get into the next part. So we always have 4 speakers, and so we have Julie Cole. She is from Burlington, Ontario, and she is, I mean, everybody knows her. She's the one that created the company Mabel Labels, and she has 6 children, and she's had her own adversity with her children, and she's got a very strong story that she wants to share. She's super organized and she's got awesome tips, and she's actually a really well-loved speaker. Second speaker is Kim McDonald, and she is from the Weather Network. She's been there for, gosh, at least 20 years. And she's awesome. She has a fabulous story. She is a breast cancer survivor, and she became the poster child for Breast Cancer Society because she ended up having a double mastectomy, and she put sunflowers. She did massive sunflower tattoo on her chest, and they blew that picture up and put her at Yonge and Dundas Square in Toronto. And that's very bold, and it's what we need as women so that we can see these things, to know that our lives can still go on, we can still function, and we can still hit the ball out of the park. Third speaker is very well-known Kim McDonald. Oh, sorry, Kim Fitzpatrick, excuse me. And she was born from the ultimate sacrifice. So I kind of don't want to share her story, although she does have a really good brand video on YouTube. And her mother made the ultimate decision as to whether she would live or let her unborn child live. And Kim has lived a magnificent life and has been working on creating a legacy. And I think she has. So we'll dive into that later. And we do have a 4th speaker, and we will unveil her later because we don't have her picture up. So anyways, welcome Ashley Ann, Brittany Hammond, Amy Bell. And so Brittany and I started From Wallet to Wealth 5 years ago. And, you know, an idea, it's just really interesting how you can start an idea and how it can really grow and change and, you know, help and so many people. It's unbelievable. And Brittany was the one that pushed me. We're talking about pushing each other out of comfort zones. She pushed me out of my comfort zone to come and tell, you know, my story of how I found advantage in my adversity. And I know that, you know, people pay a lot of coaches to develop a story of your why. And really, you don't need to do that. If you just think about what it is of why you're doing something, the answer is by far more deeper than what you realize. A lot of us are doing things from our subconscious and we don't realize. And I had felt financially held hostage, you know, gosh, more than 30 years ago. And I swore that I would not be that way anymore, and I would help others not to be that way. Many people get into that situation. So Brittany, jump in here.
Hi, everyone. Yeah, I just want to piggyback off of that because I think what's interesting, generationally speaking, is like your generation. So I feel like people born 70s and beyond, there was this like hush hush, like you had to have the what was that like family, not the Jetsons, the Joneses, whatever. You guys had that like keeping up with the Joneses and this image of family and what we've gone through. And I think like part of the driver thing for me was saying like share your story, because my generation, like so 80 babies and beyond, we're just like we're here to share our story, we're here to share our wisdom, we're here to grow together. Like we don't have that shame. And so I think when we were starting Wallet to Wealth back at the end of 2018, that was like such a hurdle for mom, for you to go through, to really like, face up to those past experiences and whatever emotions you had around that. But that really was what was driving Wallet to Wealth. And the reason why we're doing this live today is to celebrate the 5-year anniversary and kind of take a look at some of those lessons. We went through a whole world pandemic. There was a time when we didn't even think we were going to be able to do the events, let alone raise money for Halton Women's Place. And so I have a few rapid fire questions before I hand the mic over to Amy or Ashley Ann, our other committee members. But my first question for you, Mom, is why was it important to build community, like, and not just write a check to Halton Women's Place? Like, what was important for you to build this into a movement?
Right. Okay. So so my story is I was in Halton Women's Place about 30 years ago from a very difficult marriage. And thank goodness they were there, because it was a spring load for me to, pivot. We hate that word, but change my life, which I did. So I gave back to Halton Women's Place on an annual basis. And so I am philanthropic and I do give money away. And so I was very happy about doing that. And I had asked them to please keep it private, because I didn't feel that I didn't need to be in lights, camera, and action about that. But when the whole idea of Wallet to Wealth was birthing, I realized that I'm only one person, and writing a check is, I mean, it's great, but I wanted to bring other ladies into the same situation, because I knew that I wasn't the only one. I wasn't alone in this. And if I had helped other women, that they would be able to also donate, and we would actually be able to make an impact, which we have, because we've raised, as of the end of 2022, our campaign, we've raised given over $170,000 to Halton Women's Place in the From Wallet to Wealth fundraising campaign. And and this year we're already rolling and have a bunch of money, but we won't tell you what that is yet. So, but yes, it's a movement. It's time. It's really time for women to come out of that victim space. I mean, we just live in that mind, from generations behind us of victimhood. And it's time to come out and celebrate our victories and step into our zone of genius, because women are very strong. They're very resilient. They have a lot to offer. They don't have a ton of confidence. It's one of the things we all seem to have in common, which makes it really easy for us to become victims at some point in our life. So really, it's a movement to say, come on, let's all gel together and work together. And that's what we're doing.
Yeah, awesome. We love to be transparent. And so if we rewind a couple of years, because the first year we had the annual gala at the, what was it called? Burlington Convention Center?
No, we had it at LaSalle Park.
Oh, sorry, LaSalle Park, Burlington. And so we had that live event. And then 2020, we had COVID. So I think we were virtual for 3 years? 2 years?
3.
Yeah. So can you touch on just briefly, like how you kind of navigated that? How did you hold the faith? Like, did you have a moment where you were like, how are we going to do this? And share with us the first year versus the last year, because people got zoomed out by the last year. So can you just share a little bit about how we navigated pivoting with the times and the pandemic?
Okay. So when I started, It was like, I have no idea who's going to show up to this gala. And it's kind of interesting because when I was just at Oakville Conference Center, or sorry, yeah, Oakville Conference Center, because they own LaSalle Park. They were like, man, you sold out a ticket so fast. And then we didn't have a way of turning off the tickets, and another 20 got purchased on top. So we had oversold. We were 170 seats and they had to jam everybody in. So it's kind of interesting because sometimes we are just the carrier of the message, and the goal is going to happen. And that's what happened in this situation, is that I'm just the carrier of the message. The movement is happening regardless. And all of this will roll out. So I didn't need to throw my ego into it as to whether it work, it wouldn't work, or whatever. I mean, that I'm here to deliver, right? So yeah, so when we switched into COVID, it was like, oh my gosh, what are we going to do? And the thing is that people show up in your life when you need them. And Joanne Shields is a woman I know in Burlington who has a production company, and she jumped in and she ran the production for the annual event for 3 years. And that annual event rocked, like it rocked, because we had a professional running it. So it wasn't like us doing this little Zoom. It was lights, camera, action, sound, music. It was just phenomenal. So the interesting thing about running virtually, and we really didn't need to run virtually last year. And I made the decision to run virtually because we were able to raise so much money. There was no overheads to pay and no meal to pay for. So it just worked out really, really well. And also too, I didn't want there to be some shutdown at the 11th hour. So this year, super excited because we can bring a lot of women in. We'll be selling probably twice the amount of tickets. So it's time for everybody to get together. Like, we've all met on Facebook, and we've been doing the monthly events. So people come to the monthly events, but it'll be really nice to have us all together in the one room. So yeah. So, and so just to say, so here's the thing, I've got a dinner to pay for, I've got AV technicians to pay for, all sorts of stuff, and still wanting to raise $70,000 at this event. So, and I do want to put a plug out for Melissa, who is doing our whole decoration of the room. So her company, and we'll put her, we'll tag her down below, is Pure Lush Designs and Company. It's a one-stop wedding shop. She has like close to $1 million in inventory. So she's going to deck out this room so that when we walk into, and it's actually 3 rooms, but when we walk in, the first thing we're going to feel is that we're all going to rise up. And that's our theme this year, is to rise up.
Awesome. So obviously it takes a village to put this on. It's not just the annual event, it's the monthly, it's building the community, it's the conversations we're creating. So we have a committee team of 11 people. So I want to bring on Amy and Ashley Ann, because you guys have been here. Ashley, I think you've been here since the beginning. Amy, I think you joined like a couple of years ago, but if either of you want to hop on and share a little bit of your experience and kind of what you contribute to the committee and the team.
Yeah.
I would love to say that this is my first year on the committee, which is really exciting. I'm looking forward to helping keeping everything organized. But
That's a big job, by the way. That's a huge job. People don't realize is the back end. There's a lot of women chatter and a lot of tickets and donations, and we have to keep all the math syncing. So, of course, I know how to do it, but it's going on to her lap because I don't have time to do
it. Yeah, it's been fun so far. We'll see closer to November. I'm sure it'll feel a little overwhelming, but I'm looking forward to the challenge. But I would say like the first time that I attended a Wallet to Wealth event was like, it was Nevaeh, and her talk was just incredible. It moved me, and every speaker I've seen since has moved me. We just find the most incredible people, and everyone has a story to tell. And Wallet to Wealth has impacted me in my life personally so much. I haven't missed a November yet, even if it lands on my dad's birthday. But yeah, what Whitney and the whole gang is doing is just incredible. I'm happy to be a part of it this year.
Awesome. Thank you, Ashley Ann. All right, so we got Amy.
Good morning, ladies. Oh my gosh. I landed in this group and I had no idea. You know, people put me in groups all the time on Facebook. You just wake up and you're in 10 more groups. And this one from the very beginning was just so engaging, and the ladies were so nice, and everybody wanted, like, they genuinely wanted to know what I did and how we could serve one another. That was in September of 2020. So I think I snuck into the first virtual event, but I've only known these events to be virtual. So I think it's going to be really exciting to actually meet a lot of these women that I've met only virtually in the group at the live event. And then we can really put faces and hugs to the people that I've met in the group. I love how you've taken your experience and built a 1,772 member group now. I think when I started, it was just maybe just over 1,000, but like in the last couple of years, we've had 700 plus more women join and feel the movement. So it's always good. It just takes one person to say, this is my vision, and then be able to express that vision. And then you become the Pied Piper in all of this. And I've loved our friendship, Whitney. I've loved meeting Brittany, and now I'm meeting Ashley Ann and the whole team. So I think this is going to be a really cool event. I mean, it was the first one I went on that actually had a DJ and a MC and what else, and like speakers on a Zoom event. Like, I use Zoom as like, let's have a meeting and let's chat. And like the Wallet to Wealth events that I've been on have been the first ones where they've been an event that was worth attending. And so now I can only imagine what's the wedding decorator's name?
Oh, Lush. Her company is, hold on a second. I just lost it here. It's Pure Lush. Sorry,
Pure Lush, right?
Yeah, it's Melissa. Yeah, she's in our group, and she's attended a few of our 3 that this year so far. Yeah.
Yeah, so a lot of women in this group have talents that can be used to help make this a better event. And she jumped in. You know, I have skills as a designer, so I can help in that way. And Ashley Ann's organizing, and Brittany's designing and doing marketing and PR, and like, everybody has these amazing gifts. So why not pool them together and create something that can help and help each other rise up, which is amazing for this year's theme, because that's basically what we're supposed to be doing, helping other women, helping ourselves rise up, be better, so we can help other people be better.
Yeah, and not compete with each other, help each other. It would be really nice if we could make it so that people never needed to go to a women's shelter, that there's community enough that we can support each other. But the thing is that it's time to put all of that behind us and use our talents. Like you say, Amy, like, women are incredibly talented, and the amount of work that they can put out is it's shocking. So and I love watching everybody network in this group, because they're actually friends, and like, it's none of this, here's my business card, like, none of that happens. People are really connected. And I've met, yeah, I've always thought, like, the older you get in your life, the harder it is to make friends, right? It's like, and then as time's been going on, it's like, yeah, I don't know so much if that's true. And then COVID happens, and it's like, holy crap, like, my best friends now are people that I met on online, like through Facebook, through groups and stuff like this. And I mean, we never would have met. So it's so cool because we all collaborate, and everyone is really awesome. So yeah. And Britt was the one that kicked it off. Her idea.
Awesome. Well, I think that concludes concludes our mini chat today, unless anyone wants to add anything else. But I wanted to really, take the time to celebrate the 5-year anniversary, because there's some like business quote that businesses, and this isn't obviously a business, not for profit, but businesses don't make it past the 5th year. I don't know what the status for non-for-profits, but I'm sure it's maybe less, maybe more. And here we are 5 years later, and just continually increasing what we're raising for Halton Women's Place and the women in the community and the network. And it brings back to like, Mom, I know you had said back in the day, like you didn't have the network, the resources, or the support. And so in this group, it's not just raising money for Halton Women's Place, but it is creating that network, that support, and that community. Like no one should be suffering alone in this day and age. Like we're all so connected.
Well, and
even
you know what? I think that we're more connected because of the intimacy that we have between us. So, here's what I've seen and other people have told me. Like now, it's not that we talk about our war stories, but the thing is that we're not keeping them a secret anymore. We've said, you know what? Yeah, this stuff has happened. It made me feel like crap. I felt less than. I felt, I felt like I wasn't deserving of anything. So all those feelings that we collect and hold us back. And now we're all like, hey, you know what? All of that stuff happened. And so let's all move forward together. And that's what's really nice about it, is that, how close are you to your friends if you're not telling them all the truth about who you are, right? And that, yeah, we're warrior women. We had a couple of belts way back, and we're here to survive, and we're all connected. And people feel better when they release those little secrets, because we're only as sick as our secrets. So we're never about talking about men or past stories or anything like that, but it's just about feeling normal together, that we're in a safe place now. We can now do what we were designed to do, right? Which is really to build and change and contribute to the world. Like we're huge contributors, right? We might not be the president of the TD Bank, but we have a heck of a lot that we have to offer.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thanks so much, ladies, for hopping on. And for those of you who are watching the replay, we'd love to hear your biggest takeaway, where you're tuning in from, and make sure to get your tickets for November 17th, the early bird.
We have ticket sales. So we just want to announce that Janice Best was our first ticket purchaser, and she purchased a VIP. So we only have 50 VIP seats, and those seats will be up near the front of the stage. So again, hop in, grab your tickets. Oh, by the way, we have an early bird special right now. Britt, does it go till the end of August?
I'm not sure. Ashley Ann?
Yeah, September 1st. I think it's September 1st. That's it. So they're $150 right now. And then the regular price after September 1st will be $175. And of course, then there's the VIP. We are collecting gifts for auction, door prizes. So, and this is our kickoff. So we'll have all sorts of stuff floating around on social media. So if you want to get your name out, this is the place to get it. It's targeted women. Most of us are entrepreneurs, but we're all professionals. So it's a great place to get your brand seen.
Yay.
Oh, I'm frozen. Good frozen face. Okay, let's shut it down. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.